All right. Hello and welcome to episode 64 of the Rhody Rumble podcast. I'm joined by senior running back on the Rhode Island Rams football team, Marques DeShields. Marques, how are you today?
I'm good, Adam. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Congratulations on, getting here and the season that you've had so far. Obviously, still a lot of football left to be played. But you've been, balling out so far this season. The stats definitely show that. It's your first season with Rhody. I want to start off with just how the season's been going for you on a personal level and, just how you're feeling.
I mean, like you said, the stats show it. The season has been going, somewhat as I've planned, and I just hope that it keeps to stay this way. But I'm very happy with what we're doing as an offense and what we're doing as a team. You know what I mean? So I know it can only be up from here.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, 3-2 so far to start, coming off a really good Governor's Cup game against Brown. First time in a few years that, it's been here at Meade Stadium. So congratulations on that. And before we start and really get into more of your playing career, leading up to this season, a question that I just love to ask all of the guests that I've had on is just, what is your motivation or what is your why?
This game has meant so much to my family for such a long time. So, as being a little kid, it was only right that I played football. So, but I say, the people in my family who played the sport and what they've done with it is usually just my why. You know what I mean? Like my mom, my dad, my siblings and stuff like that. They're the reason why I go so hard and do what I do.
Yeah, absolutely. Family is so important. And like I said, I asked that question to all of the guests that I've had on this, of now 64 guests. And almost always it's family. And, that's really just the reason that why we're here and what we're doing. So, again, just congratulations on everything. And, it's truly amazing what the team is going to accomplish and has already accomplished so far this season.
Thanks,
yeah, of course. But jumping in, to a little of your background so people can get to know you. Prior to URI, you attended Lackawanna College and St. Francis University. Can you just share, what those experiences were like for you?
So coming out of high school, I was committed to Monmouth University. Things didn't work out. So then they put me in contact with Lackawanna College, which is in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Redshirted there my freshman year. I ended up doing a total of 5 semesters. And I played my last 2 years, played in the championship game out in Arizona, played the national championship game 2019, and ended up getting an offer from St. Francis. COVID happened, so I didn't play the first season over there. Did 2 years there, and with my last year eligibility due to the COVID year, I made a decision to hit the transfer portal, and now I'm in Rhode Island.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of funny how things work out like that. I always like to say, everything happens for a reason. So I'm glad you made it up to Rhode Island, and that you're here. But truly, certainly a lot of stops really before getting to Kingston. I want to stick with St. Francis before we move into Rhode Island. You alluded to it before, but you entered the program as a redshirt junior in 2020-21. So that was the COVID year. Obviously, that season didn't happen. Could you just share, how COVID impacted you personally and, maybe what lessons you've learned from that experience?
Well, it impacted me in more than I could say, a great way. You know what I mean? I could say it's more than great because I'm here now doing the things that I'm doing. But in the beginning, like when it was going on, it was definitely tough to deal with. I'm pretty sure we all can agree with that because it was kind of like a question mark on everything. I mean, we got kicked off the campus. They sent us home. You know what I mean? People had to quarantine and all that type of stuff. So in the beginning, it was definitely rough. And for a guy like me, redshirt junior, my clock is ticking, so taking a whole year off, was good to like let the body relax, but also scary because, nobody gets younger. We only get older. But yeah. I can really say it was a blessing in disguise because I'm here now and doing the things that I'm doing.
Yeah. And it's interesting too, because, you say taking a year off, letting your body rest mentally, that's good. Obviously, a lot of pressure being put on college athletes, but at the same time, it's like you want those reps. This is your motivation. This is your why. You want to get out there on the field. You sort of have that, burning passion inside and you miss it after a while. It was tough for me being a sophomore as well because I couldn't, do some of the things that I do now. I had to start this podcast. I had to find other things to do, really. But yeah, no, I can imagine why it would be difficult and sort of learning how to like be flexible and do things that you're not comfortable with in order to become comfortable. And also it's like, you didn't know what was going to happen. Like we didn't know when COVID was going to end. We didn't know like
at all.
We're still sort of dealing with it in a way.
Year of
But
football back, we didn't know if we were going to need that year of football back or anything. So
yeah,
I mean, it was definitely a scary time. But once
right.
they blessed everybody with that extra year, it was kind of like deal breaker. It's like, okay, so
Yeah.
what happened? So this is how we fix it.
Yeah, thank God the NCAA did that. I mean, I felt for you guys too, like having to go through college, and I mean, everyone had to deal with COVID, but you missing a year, you're recruited to play college football and obviously classes and everything, but it certainly impacted everyone. So I'm glad that the NCAA did that and is giving you guys another year of eligibility. So
Which I'm glad they did it too, man. That saved a lot of.
yeah, absolutely. Moving on, sticking with St. Francis, then we'll move into URI. You ended up playing your redshirt junior season, last year. So the following year, all NEC first team, two-time NEC prime performer, and you appeared in all 11 games, led the Red Flash with 167 rushes, 767 yards, and 4 rushing touchdowns. Can you just share, what made last season so special for you? You talk about not having that 1 year and then getting back on the field.
Fighting through that COVID adversity, you know what I mean? Because it just shows that like anything could happen at any moment. You know what I mean? And the
Right.
game we love so much, when we're literally not allowed to play it and we can't play it, it'll make you appreciate the game a lot more when that opportunity presents itself again. So that was definitely the best takeaway of it. It would just be out there playing the game again. You know what I mean? Doing what I love to do. That was the best part about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I was saying before, is just that like you had a full year to kind of think about what you wanted to do and what you were, trying to improve your skills and get out there, and you were just so passionate about football, and you had this like thing inside. You were just trying to cope with COVID, but you were trying to let it all out once you got back on the field, and you did exactly that last year. I mean, again, the stats that I just read off show that. So congrats on a great year. And I mean, it sounds like a few years, with the program at St. Francis, and now, at URI, it sure has paid off. But I guess that transitions me well. I mean, following your time with St. Francis, you decide to transfer here at the University of Rhode Island. Can you just talk about, what went into that decision and why URI? Was it something about Coach Flem or just the program?
So it all came about because a buddy of mine was also on the team, number 18, our starting wide receiver, Kahtero Summers. He actually was in contact with Rhode Island before I was. And he was a part of my motivation to enter the transfer portal because, like I said, we played there together and, we were good teammates. You know what I mean? He's like a brother to me. So he comes to me with the idea of entering the transfer portal, and, I jump at it. He gets me in contact with Coach Flanagan, our running backs coach. And me and him chop it up for a little while, a few weeks, close to like a month or two. And then I get down here for the visit, and I meet Coach Flynn and the rest of the staff. Coach Flynn, I got to see the place. You know what I mean? Got to hear what they're offering for my specific position and my situation. So it was really like a no-brainer when it came down to it. Like there was really nowhere else for me to go because the situation was just, perfect for a guy like me in his last year looking to come in and have an impact right away. You know what I mean? And the coaches, they definitely wanted me here, which is why I'm here. You know what I mean? So that played a part too. But Coach Fleming, the guys did a great job of recruiting me.
Yeah, I think that's so important, when you're looking and you're in the transfer, you're looking to find a new home or a new school, is that, will I fit into this offense? Will I fit into this team? Is there a place for me? Do they have a plan for me? And it sounds like Rhode Island did do that. And it's funny you mentioned Katara Summers because that actually leads into my next question. But if you could just talk about, obviously he played with you at St. Francis and again, now here at Rhode Island, but if you could just talk about your guys' relationship and how that's carried over from St. Francis to now URI.
I mean, from the time I met him, we are just too competitive. You know what I mean? God-given talent, natural athletes. You know what I mean? Guys who just work hard. You know what I mean? We got a lot of things in common. A couple friends of the family. I got an uncle who knows his uncle. You know what I mean? So small. Yeah. But being there with him was amazing because, I was 4 hours away from home, but, he would give me the comfort of a brother like my brother would at home. You know what I mean? So just playing with him, I can count on him. He can count on me. So our relationship has always been pretty close since we've been on the same football team.
Yeah, I think chemistry is so important as well. Not just between, it's not just between, the quarterback and the receiver, but also just between, different contributors on the offense or different contributors on the defense. It really shows on the field, on and off the field, I should say. So that's incredible that, you guys were able to have that relationship and that it carries over now to Rhode Island. Just a few more questions for you. I'm sure you knew you were going to get asked this question. But going back to this summer, you went viral in a way for hurdling one of your teammates in practice. So can you just talk about maybe that clip that made it onto ESPN SportsCenter top 10? Can you talk about, what it was like to wake up and just see Twitter explode and be recognized at the national level like that?
It was definitely a great feeling to be recognized like that, but I didn't think it would get that much attention just because, like, and I don't mean to brag or anything, but I've done it a few times before, so it
Right.
like wasn't that much of a big deal to people. But when Rhody football got a hold of the video and they posted it, it just went everywhere from Twitter to ESPN, and everybody was talking about it. You know what I mean? It was just like talk of the town for a few weeks after that play. But it was great to have that type of attention, not just on myself, but just to the school. You know what I mean? Because
Yep.
before they say my name, they say a Rhode Island football player. So to put the school on the map in that way, with all the hype that we already had coming into the season, just felt good to know that I contributed to some of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I was gonna say, like, that's so good for the program to see it make it onto ESPN just a few weeks before, and now that gives Rhode Island some attention from the national level. More people are going to be tuning into their games and showing up. And I've been saying that this program is on the rise the last few years, and obviously a couple losses to Delaware and Pitt, but I think through the 3 wins and through the 5 games that you guys have played, they are on the rise. And you guys had a great season, or Rhode Island had a great season last year, and I think some of that is definitely carried over into this year. I'm definitely excited to continue to cover the team and to watch you guys through the rest of the slate.
Sure.
But
definitely gonna be exciting, man. I can guarantee you that.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think, anyone watching this too just needs to come out to Meade Stadium because there needs to be more talk about the Rhody football team. There is a lot of talk, but there needs to be more. Definitely a good program to look out for. Like I said, just a few more questions. I want to ask about this past weekend, the Governor's Cup. It was the first time, as I mentioned, in a few years since it's been played at Meade Stadium. So just to read off a couple of stats here, line 11 attempts, 109 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, and one of them, again, a hurdling defender. Can you just talk about like maybe how special it was to play in that biggest game of the year under the lights, hoist up the trophy? And then also, if you could just talk to me about that play, did you think you would break it out, mid-game, or was that something that just happened in the moment?
Right. So being in that game and playing in that game, the vibe was amazing. You know what I mean? The stadium was rocking, even with the bad weather. I feel like if the rain wasn't, coming down on us the way it was before the game, it would have probably been packed out even more than what it was. But we knew all week that it was a big game for us. You know what I mean? Coach Flem stressed to us how important this game is to not just us, but Rhode Island, period. You know what I mean? And where the rivalry comes in and, the respect factor of the game and, the real world. So, like I said, to just be in that stadium and play in that game in that type of environment, it was very motivational. You know what I mean? It gets you going. There's no way you're out there and you're not in the mood to play. And as far as that play, it's just I never plan to jump over anybody. It's just a reaction. You know what I mean? Like the opportunity was stuff, and I just took it. But once I hit the ground, I was expecting to get caught because they usually have guys flowing to the ball and they're right there waiting on you as soon as you land. But to be able to finish the play in the end zone made it even better.
Yeah, absolutely. You alluded to it, but I just love the press conference after the game. I think I tweeted out a few clips, but yeah, Coach Flem, just referred to you like as a hurdle master, and then like you said, your response just, it was just a reaction. I just think it's so funny. It seems like you're kind of pushing it off, and like hurdling guys is an everyday thing for you. It's not that easy.
I wouldn't say every day, but for those who really care, if you go back to my high school film, you'll see that my junior year of high school, I was hurdling kids in high school. And it was getting called back in high school. So not an everyday thing, but it's not really too much to me. It's just like another move in my arsenal at this point.
Yeah, that's awesome, honestly. How did that evolve? Did you run track or cross country or anything, or did it just
I was a 3-sport athlete. And
okay.
When I ran track, never, ran hurdles or anything, just sprinting events, some relays, but just, natural athletic ability, I guess, honestly, you know what I mean? Leg workouts and stuff like that, so
yeah,
can't say there's any reason why I do it. It just happens. And, God keep blessing me with the ability to hit the ground okay and safe.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm very appreciative of that.
For sure. Well, it's awesome. And, the Rhody fans love it. Obviously, it's all over Twitter. People are still talking about it. It's been, 3 or 4 days about 3 days now since the game. So, or 4 days, excuse me, since the game. So it's, it's crazy, but it definitely makes it onto the highlight reel. And it's those kinds of plays. For you, it's just another touchdown, but for a lot of other people, I mean, it's a reason to tune into Rhody football. So we love it, and yeah, keep doing it. I guess be safe about it. Obviously, want you to stay healthy.
All this is working, man, and I'll use it.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. One more question, a few rapid fire questions just to end it off here. But you guys were ranked number 22 in the FCS preseason poll, heading into Game 6 now against Elon. This is homecoming next week. Like I said, the team is currently 3-2. What are your individual or team goals for the remainder of this season?
Well, my individual goals comes with team goals because I just want to win, as all the other guys and coaches that we have on the staff. But we know that we haven't played our best football yet. And that's what's very, very exciting for us because we're still unlocking new levels, you know what I mean, to our offense, to our defense, and our special teams, all three phases of the game. But we're looking forward to every opponent we have. I can tell you that much. And like I said before, I can guarantee you it'll be very exciting. You know what I mean? We got a few things to polish up on all three phases of the game, like I just said. But once we get it going, we're really looking forward to the 6-game stretch we have to see what we're capable of and see how we handle adversity because it will come at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great answer right there. I mean, just talking about how, you haven't played the best football yet. It's coming. So if you keep that mindset throughout, even when, you think you might have played the best football or mid-season or mid-conference play, if you just keep saying after every single game, having that motivation that we can still do better, it's just going to push you to do better. So I think that's awesome that, you tell yourself that and that's instilled in your guys' heads. Because again, 3-2, it sounds okay, but there have been some hard fought games.
Yeah, we definitely know it could have been those 2 losses we took. We definitely don't take it easy on ourselves. Even though an ACC opponent like Pitt, we knew after a couple big plays that we were in that game. You know what I mean? Things obviously didn't go our way, but we were in that game, and that showed us a lot because it lets us know that we feel like we can hang with anybody at this point. If
Absolutely.
we an ACC opponent, we come back to our conference. You know what I mean? I mean, every day, football is football, and anything can happen. But we're definitely confident in what we got to do. But we know.
And if you play the way you did against Pitt, I mean, you could pretty much win, or you could play that way against every single other opponent you have the rest of the season. So I think it's just about taking those, what you've learned from those losses and then continuing to apply that, keep learning from some of those losses and some mistakes and just keep going with it. Because the season, it's a short season. It goes by really quick. So just keep learning and keep going out there and just applying what you've learned. And I really hope the FCS playoffs is in your guys' favor. You guys just missed it last year. Rhode just missed it last year. So I'm hoping that this is the year we get back to the playoffs. I really think it could be.
Yes, sir. I hope so too, man. We're shooting for that goal. Trust me.
Absolutely. Just a few rapid fire questions and we'll end it there. But we'll get right into it. So who is, a player that you model your game or style your game after?
I'll probably say Dalvin Cook. He's downhill football runner, not the biggest guy, but he packs a punch. He's strong, has speed to break away, has good hands out of the backfield with vision. I feel like I have all those things in my toolkit too. So
yeah,
Dalvin Cook. Yeah.
Was there a player that you grew up watching that you tried to aspire to be, or was it Dalvin Cook?
I had 2, Reggie Bush and LT, LaDainian Tomlinson.
Those are great answers right there.
Those are my 2 favorite running backs. The most exciting backs at that time in their era. You know what I mean? And Reggie with college and even in the NFL, and LT in college and NFL, both of them. I follow both of those guys. And they both were my favorite number, which is 5. So that's another thing that attracted me to their game other than being, as good as they were.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love Reggie Bush personally. I think he's one of the best running backs in the last decade, and he's so underrated too. People forget about how good he was back then. So
I know. Yeah. I'm a big Reggie fan. I know.
Yeah, that's awesome. Go-to pregame song.
Yes, You Did by Rob 49. It's a song that just puts me in my bag. It gets me going.
Yeah,
I listen to it a lot through the day. And actually, on my clip on my Instagram, it's the song in the background of the game versus Brown, where I heard of the kid. I put that song in the background of that. So that's the go-to pregame song right there.
That's awesome, man. Best part about going to school in Rhode Island?
The beaches. The
There you
beaches.
go.
I spent a lot of my time on the beaches this summer. You know, when I wasn't working out or sleeping, I was at the beach. Definitely, I'm a big beach guy. So
Yeah,
yeah, that was it. That's it.
that's the most popular answer that
Yeah.
I get when asked that question. You grew up in Jersey too, right?
Yep.
You ever go to like Jersey Shore or any of those beaches?
Yeah, not too far from it. I grew up South Jersey, really close to the Philadelphia area. So Atlantic City, you know what I mean? Wildwood, all those places are within like 45 minutes of me leaving my house. So, like I said, you know, beach guys. So, you know, it was good to come out here and they had some beaches in touch. So,
You ever go to Margate?
no, I never been there. I don't think so.
Yeah, I like.
Close to like North Jersey. It might be.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure, but yeah, I'm from Long Island, New York, but I've been to Margate a few times. It's pretty nice.
Okay.
Also, like Jenkinson's Beach. I'm not sure if that's like.
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Before.
Yeah, I used to go to like a summer camp in Pennsylvania in like Bucks County. So I've been to a few of those beaches and everything like that.
All that stuff isn't too far from me.
Yep, absolutely. Toughest player you've gone up against just through your career?
My URI career or
just in general?
You can watch him on Sundays now. His name is Jaquan Brisker. He went to Lackawanna College with me. We came in the same year. He currently is starting safety for the Bears. Number 9. I'd probably say it was my toughest teammate I've ever played against.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. 2 more for you. Favorite off the field like memory at URI so far? I know it's only been a short time, but maybe something with the team on the bus or in the locker room. Just any funny stories you got so far, or favorite off the field memory.
So what we used to do in the summer when like most of the guys were here, like first summer session and second summer session, whenever we had an off day, just so because we had a lot of transfers, you know, me and a couple other guys transferred in, just for everybody to bond a little bit and just, you know, taking a moment and learn one another. We would go out to the basketball courts right behind Wiley Hall and just have like 3-point shootouts and just, you know, just mess around, bring the speaker outside, have some music playing, sun shining, you just vibing with your teammates, you know what I mean? Just finish the workout so you feel accomplished, go get something to eat, you know what I mean? That's where our days consist of. But I would have to say those moments right there because that's the moments that bring us to now, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. You create those memories over the summer and it carries over into the football season, you know what I mean? It just makes you go harder for the man next to you. So I would definitely say our bonding during the summer, hanging out by the basketball courts and just getting something to eat. Yeah,
those bonds, like the little things, they matter so much. You don't think about it in the moment, but they really do. It's crazy.
Yes, sir.
But, and then lastly, just what is your message to the Rhody fans, you know, who may be watching this at home and who might tune into Rhody football this season?
Since I've been here, it's been a great support system. Just please keep it up. You know what I mean? When we're up, we're up. When we're down. But just stay with us the whole way because we have a special team here and we got some special things planned to get done this season.
Absolutely. What is it? 3 more feet, right?
Yes, sir. 3 more feet. There you go.
There you go. Marques, thank you so much for taking the time today. I'm wishing you and the team, you know, best of luck the rest of the season. Of course, go Rhody.
Yes, sir. Thanks, bro.
Thank you.
Hurdle master, man. Come on now.
I never think about it. It's just, you know, it's really a reaction. I say that as humbly as possible. It's just a reaction. It just comes out. But I'm glad it played out the way it did and I got in the box.